Hi, fifth grader. I'm at school and you're not. So what I'm going to do is videotape some instructions about the packet that you received, 5 days of work for your language arts classes. All right, if you have it in front of you, you have a letter from me talking about what you're studying. We're going to be doing sentences, fragments, and run-ons. Up top it says if your teachers ever returned your paper with frag, SFRO, or run-on written in the margin, you will find the attached lessons useful. The lessons will help you locate and correct sentence fragments and run-ons in your writing. Of course, you're going to look for these type of errors while you're doing the revising stage of your writing. And go ahead and read your letter. And at the bottom it does say if you have questions, you can either phone me, email, send me a text. You can send an email through my school address, or you can even take a video of yourself asking your questions and text it to me. I thought that might be interesting. All right, now I have printed out your study island lesson on complete sentences, fragments, and run-ons. And of course, I know complete sentences is going to be just a review for you because you know that you have to have who's doing it and what they're doing in the sentence. If it's lacking that, then it's not a complete sentence. Then sentence structure, whether it's an independent clause or a dependent clause. Then it gives you an example and some corrections for independent and dependent clauses. It talks about a simple sentence and a compound sentence. We've already studied those. Complex and compound complex sentences. It all has to do with punctuation and whether or not there's a conjunction in there. Then it covers fragments, run-ons, and comma splices. Now remember, this is a study island lesson. Then run-ons and comma splices. And then sentence fragments. Those are the ones that are not, it doesn't even mean anything to you. If you have a question, period, we know that's not a sentence. The next sentence says, please raise your hand. Well, you can put those together with a comma, and if you have a question, please raise your hand, and you have a great sentence. So there are several examples of that. Then you have your questions. I gave you, I think, 12 questions from Study Island. And please do this lesson first before you try to answer these, okay? Just like I always ask you to. Now, this is day 2. The Study Island reading was day 1. This is day 3, and you're going to practice correcting some sentence fragments. You know, a fragment doesn't make sense, and a complete sentence does, so you get to practice some here. Then day 4, avoiding run-on sentences. And run-on sentences is a lot like the way we talk. But when we write, we have to have some punctuation, some conjunctions, or we have to break our talking into 2 sentences. Like, a run-on occurs when 2 or more independent clauses are not joined together properly. And these mistakes often happen when the new thought begins with a pronoun, the new thought begins with a transitional expression or conjunctive adverb, or the new thought begins with a direction word such as then. Here's 4 ways to correct run-on sentences and some examples. You get to choose which of these is correct and which is not. If it's correctly punctuated, then put a C in front of it. Otherwise, please correct it. And if you have a red pen at home, you can use that. Day 5, you're identifying some correct sentences. You're going to read each one and say whether it's a correct sentence, a run-on, or a fragment. And you're going to write you choose whether it's correct, run-on, or fragment, and put the letter on the line in front of it. And then, can you do some writing for me, please? This is a paragraph that contains some run-ons and fragments. So correct it with a red pen if you have one. Otherwise, it's okay if you just use a pencil or whatever, but if you have those things, you can use them. When you get through correcting this, which is kind of revising and editing, I would like for you to use the notebook paper that I've sent you and rewrite the paragraph correctly. All right? And that's it. And then you will send all of your work back to me, and I will grade it so it can go in the grade book. And then you'll get a new packet. All right. Hope everything's going great. Stay healthy. Wash your hands.